Hello everyone. Today's video is gonna be about things I hate about school. The number one thing that I hate about school is waking up too early. Now, I don't know about where you live, but here where I am, we have to wake up really early to get to school. And I have to travel like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half just to get there. So I'll probably be waking up at 6 a.m. to get to a 8 a.m. class. So yeah, and most of the time I'd miss about 20 alarms just so that I wake up. And by the time I wake up, I've got a headache because of all the alarm ringing and all the time. I haven't even had a proper sleep because I got up, I turned off the alarm, I went back to sleep 5 minutes later, same thing. So yeah, that's number one. The second thing that I hate about school is when teachers talk too much. Now, we always have this one teacher that tends to talk too much. For example, they'll be going on and on and on for like an hour or two, and they will not stop for even a 5 minute break. And at the same time, they have a slideshow, and everything on that slideshow they've memorized in their brain, and they're talking it, and they're talking in one tone the whole way. It gets so draining, and if you just take a look around, everyone's falling asleep. The number, the third thing that I hate about school is when teachers pick on you. So, for example, they'll ask you a question like, when was this guy born or something, for example, and no one puts their hand up, right? So they'll be like, if no one is gonna say me, I'm gonna pick randomly, and then they pick you. And for me, it's always me that they used to pick on. It doesn't happen as often now, but yeah, it depends if the teachers don't like you or not. Because I'm not very popular with the teachers. The fourth thing I hate about school is waiting just to go pee. Waiting in a huge line just to pee. Now back in high school, especially in recess, because we had a 20-minute break in recess, I probably spent 15 minutes just waiting in line so I can pee. And by the time I get out, my break's pretty much finished. So yeah, this definitely ranks up to number 4 most hated thing about school for me. The fifth most hated thing for me is too much homework. Now, I don't mind doing like half an hour of homework or something, but in high school we usually have 3 or 4 subjects at least in a day, and each teacher will be like, you have 1 hour of homework or 1.5 hours of homework. That's 4 hours. So by the time you get home, do your homework, technically speaking, you don't even have time to eat. You just finish your homework and go to sleep. Now, I wasn't one of those students that did my homework always, which is why my grades were really bad. But hey, still didn't like homework. I don't think anyone does. The next thing that is on my top hated list is tests and exams. Now, sometimes I'd study really good for a test and I'd learn everything, right? But when I sit it, I just got really nervous and I forgot everything. I still remember one time I did this question and it came up exactly the same because I was practicing it for so long. I remember every single word in that question. The only problem was that I don't remember how I did it. I don't know why, but I was so nervous that I couldn't remember a single thing. I could remember every word in that question. I was 100% sure I could pass this, but yeah, that's one thing I hate about tests and exams. I get too nervous. The next thing that I hate about school is that one girl that always replies to you, I have a boyfriend, to every single question you ask. So let's say you want to ask her, do you have a pen? I have a boyfriend. That's like facepalm. Seriously? That is like that is the most one of the most frustrating things ever. Just makes you want to, yeah, rage. Anyways, that's definitely up there with the most hated things about school. The next thing that annoyed me the most was the kid that bullied you just to look funny. Now, there was a lot of kids like that, but back in high school, I would make a lot of mistakes. Like I'd stuff up, especially in my speech. I'd say something funny, and there's always that one kid that always picked on me whenever I did that, and that pissed me off a lot. And because I got angry, they'll keep on doing it. I know the rule, don't let it get to you. But I was an easy target, and there was more than one kid too, but there was always that one kid that did it. And yeah, it's definitely one thing that I really hated. The next thing that I hate is when you sharpen your pencil and you're ready to write and it breaks. Now, I don't know about you, but this is one of the most frustrating things ever. And I remember one time it broke two, three times in a row after I sharpened it. I was like, what is going on? Today's just bad luck or something. So yeah, this is definitely up there as well. Rated as the most hated. The next thing is group projects. Now, especially when you're starting new in a new school and you don't know anyone, when you do a group project and you get put with randoms, and this has happened to me so many times. The randoms don't do their work. Like, they don't do their work at all. You tell them to do something, and like, because of experience and over time, I've had many bad groups like this. I'll usually check two, three times in a week with them to make sure that they're doing the work. And if they're not doing their work, I'll I'll have to deal with it straight away. This is really serious. This can stuff you up, especially in school and even in uni. It happens in uni a lot too. So yeah, this is definitely one of the most frustrating things. Group projects. The next most hated thing for me is probably the principal's never-ending welcome speech. Now, every time you go into a new school, they will be giving you a massive welcome speech. I'll probably go on for 2 hours, and these 2 hours, all you're doing is sitting there just listening to them. And in the end, you just give a massive round of applause. And I don't even know why students give a round of applause, but it's just not like you learned anything from that. But yeah, definitely that draining speech from the principal when you start school. Now, school uniform checks were the worst, and for us, shaving our beard was part of having a proper uniform. And luckily, I didn't grow my beard too early, like when I was in year 11 or 10. But I did start growing my beard in year 12, and yeah, that they usually make us go and shave, especially when we were taking pictures, school pictures. And I remember so many times I'd cut my face because they give us this really terrible plastic razors to shave our beard with, and they were so annoying. And yes, it was the worst, man. Shaving that was definitely one of the worst things, having to shave my beard. Oh yeah, also tucking in my shirt and t- and my tie, pulling up all the way to the neck. It always used to choke me, so I never actually tied it properly. I always undid the buttons at the top because that choked me. That really choked me. I had to hide the buttons to make sure they look like they've done up, but they're not. It's definitely something that, yeah, happened to me. The next thing that I really didn't like is when teachers confiscated your school, especially in high school. Because I had a phone in high school since I was year 7. And yeah, and like, I remember one time I gave my phone to a teacher, right? I just went for a toilet break. I came back. He had given the phones back, and the teacher didn't have my phone. So the teacher lost my phone, right? And he said that he didn't, but he took it and he never gave it back to me. So basically, one of the students stole it. Yeah. So what I had to do then is like go and report to um the school coordinator, and they actually gave me compensation. They gave me a compensation back for that. So that was alright. But yeah, the one thing that I hated was the teachers took your phone, especially during PE classes. The next thing that I hate is when teachers pick on you, even though, like for example, you're talking but everyone else is talking at the same time. The teacher goes and picks on you out of everyone else. That's so frustrating. It's like, why do you hate me so much? Like, half the class is talking, and I'd actually tell the teacher, look, half the class is talking. Why are you picking on me for? But yeah, that's another thing that's definitely frustrating. I can relate to this definitely. The next thing, and this is probably the worst thing, parent-teacher interviews. Now, throughout high school, I had really bad grades, right? So I hated them. I've probably only been to one or two parent-teacher interviews, but the rules were I had to go to every single one with my parents. So I remember one time in Year 9, I didn't go to parent-teacher interviews, and I was forced to do another interview with my dad, and the principal was there. That was one of the most awkward things ever. I just didn't like going to interviews because I never had good grades in the first place. It was so annoying. And if I actually worked hard, I probably wouldn't have to worry about this. But my academics were really bad during high school. Definitely didn't enjoy this. And yeah, I don't actually remember the second time I've been to a school. Maybe it was only one time. But yeah, parent-teacher interviews, the worst for me. Now, even though I've said all this and I've ranted for about at least 5 minutes, I actually still I love the fact that I got the chance to go to school, and I appreciate that. And I'm not really that bitter about it. I know every experience you go through is important for your character, and but yeah, like this is just some rants, and life could have been easier at school, but I definitely don't hate the fact that I got a chance to go to school. I know many people don't have that chance, and I appreciate school. Even though it has negatives, it has positives as well. Because I met a lot of my friends there, and I learned a lot there. I met a lot of interesting characters, and yeah, it was a good time as well. I had my good times and bad times. And yeah, if this video gets a positive reception, I may make one about the things I like about school. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, have a good day.